It's time now for the big interview, and today I'm chatting to Azande Sigio, who is 27 years old, born and bred in Cape Town, and she's part of the RX Radio team. She's a content producer. She joined RX Radio in January this year. Before that, she worked in the multimedia department of a newspaper media house, and she has experience in child participation programs. She studied journalism at Rhodes and majored in anthropology, and because both these subjects allow her to learn and engage with people in different ways. Currently, she lives with her cousins in their grandparents' family home in Gugulethu, and the reason I'm chatting to her today is because Azande has overcome COVID-19 and is our only guest we've had on the show that has overcome COVID-19. She's our first guest right here on RX Radio Breakfast who's overcome the virus. So it's going to be incredible to talk to her and find out what that whole journey and experience has been like. And then just remember that these interviews we do conduct over the internet, so apologies for the quality if it's not up to scratch and not like we normally have with our studio when we're able to use our studio. Obviously, because of the lockdown, we're using new methods, including internet like this. Could you explain what having the virus felt like and maybe something towards the stigma that surrounds the virus?
All right, sure. Okay, for me, the virus, of course, reacts differently to everyone. For me, it was a rather mild case, like I said, as compared to a lot of cases that are out there. But I'm not going to lie, it doesn't feel nice at all. Because a lot of what accompanies the physical symptoms is what happens in your mental, you are alone a lot, so you think a lot. But I think the best advice for someone who's scared, I would say, is to, as much as it's overwhelming and intimidating and you're so unsure, but talking about it to people is definitely the right way to go. Talking to people who are family members, talking to people who are friends, seeking out people who have been through it is also something that I found useful because I spoke to my cousin on the phone a lot, even though she was in the room next door, trying to, motivate each other. But I think what makes people very fearful is the general sense of we don't know what to do, or the general sense of there's so much. So I would say that don't shy away from the topic. Keep the conversation going, keep your research going. The internet can be a very scary place. That's why I always encourage that you talk to other people, not to promote RX, but there's a lot of great content on the RX site that guide people through this process. Every time I was working on a story about a person who had overcome the coronavirus, and without that information and without that positivity, I think to hear it firsthand, it would have been really difficult for me to deal with the process, because a lot of what you read is not necessarily success stories, but success stories are available from various people if you seek. And I just want to end off by saying that I can't express enough how difficult isolation can be for people who have tested positive. So take care of yourself and listen to your body, because that's the biggest part of the healing process for those who have tested positive. And for those who are scared, and especially with the stigma that's out there, research is your friend. Personally, I didn't experience any stigma, but the fear of the unknown is very powerful. So let's just, try our best to be open-minded to those who are going through the positive diagnosis.
Well, Azande, thank you so much for joining me this morning, sharing that and shedding light on what it's actually like to go through a positive testing for COVID-19 and being able to overcome the virus. So thank you so much for joining me this morning.
You are listening to RX Radio.
For and by children.
RX Radio. RX Radio rocks.